as we started, I was doing the roll call here. Where's my paper? And I stopped. And then we will share that with Joan as we go on. So, Attorney Gunning?
He's on here, but I don't show any more than that.
Fire Chief Bendix is not here. He's only getting back tomorrow. Police Chief Bob Solkowski? Okay, Bob there. Dolly Millick? We'll see if she's here. Joan will tell us. Matt Bowen? Nope. Ray is not participating. I'll have his word. Steve Thomas?
Here.
Is here. And, okay, that's it for us for our attendees now. So I'm going to start this by letting everybody know that in accordance with the public access guidelines, notice of the virtual meeting, replacing the meeting at the fire station house meeting room, and access to the virtual meeting by video conferencing posted on the town's website and at the meeting room door in advance of the meeting. An agenda of the meeting has also been published on the proposed agenda was up on the website as well. As we move on into our meeting right now, I'm going to ask everybody whether they had any other additional comments or additions or to remove something from our meeting agenda for today. So please go ahead. Comments? You know, there's a lot of, I hear noise in the background, like someone's listening to something.
Oh, that's Rich, but if I mute him, then we lose him.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, Rich?
Yeah.
You know what? The TV is very loud in the background. Do you think that it could be turned down a little bit? Because we hear it. I hear it very loud on my end. Okay. Okay, so I'm asking again for any comments on the meeting agenda. Are there any additions or corrections from anyone present to the meeting agenda?
No, I am good.
You are good. Okay, there are a few things that I need to add. So if nobody else has something to say, I'm going to mention something. Under 5, I'm adding a section E. And one is an appointment to the BZA because there's going to be a change on that. So appointment to the BZA. And that 5E. On the back side, under new business, we are going to add a point B. And that point B is derelict home at 3845 Michiana Drive. 10B is being added, derelict home. And then under 13 for communication, I have a point D, Dunlin Beach correspondence. Or community. 13D, Dunlin Beach. All right. So if this is, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll move to approve minutes as submitted.
Okay. Mike Lancioni moves to approve the agenda. Second?
Michael Martinez, second.
Okay. Michael Martinez seconds. Okay. All in favor? I will now ask you by calling names since I do not see you. Michael Martinez.
Aye.
Mike Lancioni.
Aye.
Rich Young.
Aye.
Okay, and I, Dinah Dumbris, aye. Did Pam Doobie join us?
No.
No? Okay, so 4 of 5 approved the agenda. So the agenda then is approved for the evening. Now, Joan, I don't know, Joan, are you up?
I don't know. Excuse me.
Okay,
I'm sure she's on here, but
the phone and see if I could reach her at the town office, okay? If that's the only way it's gonna go. She's got technical help there tonight, so I'm not sure. Okay.
Well, somebody with the 219 just joined.
I'm on.
Oh, great. Okay, super. Okay, Joan. All right, Joan, we just took the roll call, so I'll let you know who was participating, and we adopted the agenda. There were a couple of changes, and I will give you those as we go on, okay? Okay, John?
Okay.
All right. Did Donna show up for the meeting with you?
Dolly's here with me.
I'm sorry?
Dolly's here with me.
Okay, excellent. So I will add you guys to the roll. Okay, very good. Thank you. Now, let us go to reports from committee. Oh, no, the minutes. I'm sorry. Now, Joan sent everyone the draft minutes for the April meeting and the May meeting and the bid opening for the DNR grant work to be done White Ditch. Has everybody had a chance to read those minutes, to review them and make any kind of comments, please? Anyone? Any questions? All right, you feel they're okay? Anybody else? Let's work on the minutes from the April meeting first then. Is there anything else you were going to add, Joan?
What?
All right, the April 14th minute meetings. I'm asking for any comments anyone may have on the April 14th minutes that Joan did.
What comments do you want?
Well, if I didn't know if you had it to add, wanted to add anything to this.
You have everything. And I don't add anything else.
Okay, thank you, Joan. Does anyone here on the board, on the council, have any comments on the April 14th minutes?
I move, Rich Young here, I move that we accept the minutes as printed.
Okay, Rich Young moves to accept the minutes. Second?
This is Mike Lancioni. I'll second.
Okay, Mike Lancioni seconds.
I mean, from the computer screen.
Okay, this is the minutes for the April 14th meeting.
Dinah?
Yes, ma'am?
I've been removed from the computer. We need that computer screen for the recording.
What do you removed? Nobody removed you.
I removed her because she can't be on the phone and on the computer and not have them both on, or it sends it into an echo chamber.
Okay, Joan, so it has to be either the phone or the computer. Which one do you want?
Well, she can be on both. She can be on the phone for audio, but she needs to reconnect on the computer and don't select audio then. Just select the video.
Well, then get me back on.
Well, you have to do that. I can't do that.
You know what? You guys are not very helpful.
Well, the hooking on has to take place from your end, Joan.
It'll be a long meeting.
I was just expecting that for somebody.
Do you see anything that says click OK on here? Click OK. I don't see a system dialog. I don't see OK either. Oh, that's what it says there. Oh, let me try it all over again since this is being such a pain. It said, click here to join. Okay, that's what he sent me. He said, click here to join. And this screen comes up, it says needs to be opened, so I opened it. The last time. You are unable to rejoin this meeting because you were previously removed by the host. The host did that to you?
Okay, Mike, did you hear that?
I heard it, but there's nothing I can do about it. She just had, I mean, back in.
I can't believe you don't know you can't get me on.
Oh my God.
God is right.
Let's just go with the phone and what we got right now.
Enter your meeting ID. Let me see if this thing does it. I can't see a meeting ID.
Can we proceed, or do we need to wait for Joan?
Well, Joan wanted this for the minutes, but I can share the minutes with Joan. Joan, you continue trying, okay? We're going on with the acceptance of the minutes. I can continue on with this. Rich Young moved and Michael Ancioni seconded to approve the minutes of the April 14th meeting. Rich Young, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mike Lancioni?
Aye.
Michael Martinez?
Aye.
Dinah Dumbris? Aye. So 4 ayes. The minutes from the April 14th meeting are approved. 4-0. All right, let's move on to the May meeting. And the May meeting is, we have the meeting from May 12th. Oh, no, wait a minute. It was the 12th. May 12th was the town council meeting. Have you had a chance? Are there any comments on the May 12th meeting?
I had none.
No comments, so I need a motion then. If there are no comments, then I need a motion to accept the minutes as they were written.
Michael, if no other comments, Michael Martinez makes a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
Rich Young seconds. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the May 12th meeting of the town council. I need a vote. Michael Martinez?
Aye.
Mike Lancioni?
Aye.
Rich Young?
Aye.
Dinah Dumbris? Aye. Minutes have been accepted 4-0. Now we move on to the minutes of May 14th, which was the bid opening for the DNR grant. Very quick, short meeting and short minutes. Any comments, any questions? If
Nope.
there are none, then I will ask for someone to move to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Rich Young moves. Who will second?
Mike Lancioni, I'll second.
Mike Lancioni seconds. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the May 14th bid opening for the DNR grant. Roll call, Rich Young.
Aye.
Mike Lancioni.
Aye.
Michael Martinez.
Aye.
Dinah Dumbris, aye. Minutes have been approved as read. I would like to take us, how are you doing, Joan, on the joining?
It keeps telling me I've been locked out.
Okay, but you can record the voice, correct? Via the phone?
Recording the voice.
Okay.
Next to the speaker so it gets better audio.
I don't know, but this is ridiculous. Whole thing.
All right.
I hope recording is good because I have not taken 1 minute. So
I will be able to give you everything that is taken because all we did is the roll call and the agenda and approve the minutes. So far everything has been fine. Now,
somebody is taking notes for that and can relay them to me tomorrow.
yes, I can pass that over to you tonight after this is finished. I'll send you an email. Mike Lancioni, may I ask you a question? Is there a chance that you can set a recording on your end as well to make sure we have a double recording?
I am trying. We'll see.
Okay, thank you very much.
Please hold it off. And Joan, I'm going to send you another email that you can try it. That it's on your end. That I can't do anything about it. But you got to see if it can go through the email I just sent you.
I tried everything you've given me. I tried it twice, thinking I might have put something else.
You just got a new one. He just sent a new one now.
What?
Mike Lancioni just sent you a new email. Try with this new email. Okay, well, by that, Joan, I will continue with some of the things, and then we will go back to your reports and the invoices, okay? It's going to be a little bit out of order right now. I will start with something that I just added, which is the 5E, the appointment to the BZA. I am informing everyone that Ray Dumbras has stepped down, has asked to be removed from the BZA. Ray, unfortunately, will be doing more infusions and more therapeutic stuff, and they're scheduled on Thursdays. So Ray has said he's going to step down from the BZA and will continue with the Plan Commission. In Ray's place, because this was a town executive appointment, I am going to appoint Ralph Box to be on the BZA. Ralph has agreed to go on to the Board of Zoning Appeals, so I am taking the liberty now of appointing Ralph to the BZA. Ralph, you want to say hi? Okay.
Everybody, thanks, Dinah. I appreciate the opportunity, and I hope it all goes well.
All right, so Ralph Box is now on the BZA. Thank you very much. Now, although this is something that we will probably have to discuss more, we will definitely discuss more, but I can give the report to you on the town, on my efforts to seek out a new town attorney. I was given recommendations by our former attorney or currently helping attorney, Jeffrey Gunning, as well as given some information by Teresa Mess. And the great thing is that in almost all the cases, they agreed and recommended the same firms. So that did make me feel very good. I have approached these following firms, and we will have to then later on, I will let you know what these firms are saying. And it will obviously be a decision that the town council or a committee made up of town council members that will make with regards to this when we have to choose one outfit to go. And for the most part, every single one of them would like to sit down and talk a little bit more. My conversations were really very superficial. Some of them were rather long conversations, but they were just, no commitments on any side. So I contacted a firm called Harris, Welsh, and Lookman. It was suggested that I speak with Charles Lookman, but he was not available for me to speak to. I spoke with a younger attorney there. I'm waiting for him to get back. But the younger attorney seemed to be interested, but he couldn't make a commitment himself. Spoke with Blackley, Tabor, Bozick, and Hartman, and the principal attorney there is David Hollenbeck, who also happens to be the NERC attorney. I met him, I worked with him, with regards to NERC, and spoken with him on the LaPorte County, issues. So he is very interested in joining us for sure. He said, doing something. He likes a local government kind of work. Their firm has worked with Valpo, Westville, and other cities and towns. Oh, by the way, the first firm has worked with Chesterton, Ogden Dunes, and right now they're working with Chesterton, Ogden Dunes, and Beverly Shores. The third firm I spoke with, spoke too many pages, was Hodges and Davis, and I spoke with Greg Sapkowski there. Had a very pleasant conversation again. He's also interested. He would be very interested in working with us. Forward to having a time to sit down, whether electronically or in person somewhere, to discuss more details. I then have spoken and corresponded with as well with Shaw Friedman of Friedman and Associates. He has two younger associates who work a lot of municipal issues and municipal things in LaPorte County and the city of LaPorte. So he said he got interest there in representing our town as a municipal attorney. And then at the end, I got a recommendation from a town resident of a firm in LaPorte, and the firm is called Newby Lewis, Kaminsky and Jones. And they've got an attorney who does municipal work. He does quite a bit of work with the town of LaPorte and has done some work with Michiana. So they have some interest and would like to talk to us again with regards to representing us as a town. So these are the reports I have. So now I would ask if there are others among our town council who would be willing to, when it is time to discuss this, with us, to sit down with me, because I don't feel that I should make the decision on my own, that someone should join making this decision.
Dinah, this is Michael Martinez. Once we get to that point, you can add me to that list to help discuss and possibly make a final decision and or interview the potential replacement.
All right, very good. Anybody else?
I could do it. I could help out, but
Mike Lancioni?
On the phone, I could call them and talk to them.
Okay, well, what will be is more of we have to sit down and come up with specific things that we have to. I'm sorry? It's a Piper Joan, but I'm not sure.
What do you,
Dinah?
you keep
I'm here,
muting.
yes.
I don't know what you're doing.
We were discussing the attorneys that I've called. Okay, Rich, what were you asking?
In the past, we used the Plan Commission of 7 members to kind of check over like contracts. I don't know if we ever interviewed. I think we did, but I can't remember who it might have been. It wasn't Gunning, but I make a suggestion that we refer, if the Plan Commission, I understand that the big issue of awarding the building permit to the Coffey family is over, right?
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
So maybe the Plan Commission could take up the interview process, and then other people could join it, I guess. But seven people, or 6, or however many show up, would be a good way to, and 3 of the members are board members anyway.
So, Rich, are you talking? Rich, are you just to clarify? Are you talking more like a panel interview then? Everyone. Yeah. Okay.
Well, my thought had been it was going to be a panel interview, but just town council members rather than sending it to the plan. I thought the town council would, just expedite maybe a little bit quicker. Sure. But what are your other thoughts? How about Mike Lancioni? Any comments? What do you think?
Well, for me, I mean, I'm indifferent because I'm on both. So either way, it'd be coming through me anyways. So, to anyone else comments, I'm looking to see what they might want to say.
Mike Lancioni?
Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter to you. Okay. Well, I'm not on the Plan Commission. I wanted to be involved in this too, so I don't know how I do this then.
Well, Dinah, again, it's a recommendation. If you want to be a part of it, again, you were the one that took the lead on it. So,
yeah, you're right.
If you want to handle it your certain way, then let's do that. Like I said, I'm available. Mike's available. Those are 3 people that are on the town council. 2/3 of those people that I mentioned are on the planning commission, so we can go forward with whatever you want to do. Either way, Mike are.
Yeah. But I would add on that probably swifter action to make something happen, because we need to get this wrapped up.
Yes, I think we need to go with this, and I don't know that we need a 7-person panel to interview. I think that if we sit down with 2 or at least 3 people is what I would prefer. At least 3 people to sit down to speak with these attorneys. We can actually do a little. One of the firms I know, Hollenbeck, talked about. Let's get together somewhere that has a patio. Like Bartlett's or the Goblin Cafe or something like this.
Yeah.
To spread out and talk and stuff like this. We could basically invite everybody to do something or stagger them over a couple of hours and that's it. Or even do a conference. That's okay with me. I don't care. What we do. But at least 3 people, okay?
Well, it sounds like you have them. So why don't we just proceed with what you were talking about to get a quicker turnaround to address Mike's point, and then, not wasting more time for a site.
Right. Okay. I think that's what we should do because I think Plan Commission has other things we're going to need to start working on too. So, okay, then in that same case, I will then get in touch with all of you to find out when a day is good to meet with you, and then let the firms know if they're interested in talking to us those days. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Then note of caution.
Yes.
You have 3 council members.
Yeah.
You can meet with 2. I don't think 3 of them can meet together.
Well,
I believe Mike was. Oh, go ahead.
Still on here, he might be able to put more into that.
All right.
Yeah, I think Bob's right. I think 3 is the max, or 2 is the max. You can't have 3, if I remember.
Okay. All right, 2 might be a max. Well, you know what? I've already spoken to all these firms, so technically maybe the Plan Commission, maybe Rich is right. And we have the 2 of you, and because you're willing, and then get a 3rd person from the Plan Commission, and then you guys run with the Plan Commission. Then Rich maybe made a good suggestion on that, so.
Well, yeah, if you really talk with them, you can just set up a time for Mike and Mike to meet together. That's 2, not 3, to Bob's concern.
Either that, or if you want to pull somebody from the Plan Commission in, go ahead. That's up to you guys, though. Okay. All right. So let's see. Maybe plan. Okay. So we have 2. I've got you down. This is for the attorneys. Here we go. All right. So we have done now points C and E, and we can jump to the code enforcement officer write-up that you had put together for us, Michael, or we go with Joan, if Joan would like to do our vouchers now. Do you want to do the vouchers, Joan?
Wish. I thought you were going on to the code enforcement, so I ran away from the phone.
Are you ready for that, or would you like us to do code enforcement first?
Got it.
Okay.
For June, the 2020 vouchers, Michiana Shores Volunteer Fire Department for fire protection, $3,471. For rental, $105. Town of Long Beach for police protection, $4,035. Republic Services for refuse service, $3,776. The news just advertising for the DNR White Ditch refuse, not refuse, I meant request for proposals was $64.16. The ground guys for the spring cleanup in Kincaid and Leeds Park, they did $300. That is all the spring cleanup. The ground guys for mowing, they mow 9 parks, $100. Myself for postage, additional postage, we put the spring flyers with the utility bills, but we had to add because originally we only had 2 sheets for the flyer, and when it was redone, it came with 3 sheets, what's added. And that was $22.50. A Department of Waterworks for Kincaid Park, $9.48. And water for the garage, $9.48. Brenda Heckman, traveling back and forth between the bank and the post office, $39.60. AIM, this is one that was not approved, and I got a bill today that Dumbrief did the new electric officials boot camp. I did not get a registration form. I did not get anything that said she attended it.
Joan?
That FBOA does not like just getting it off from a statement.
Joan,
so I will need something. I asked AIM to send me if they had anything, and so far I've not received anything. So okay. I have to show proof that you registered. There's a registered sheet.
Oh, that Joan, you registered. I didn't request them to send this to you.
What?
Okay. I did not request anybody to send this to you. If the town would like to pay for it, then I'd say great, because I assumed that this was my expense. I do have all the registration paperwork if you would need it.
I will not pay it without having the registration and
I
also
understand. Joan, I discussed asking about whether something like this can be paid for. I did not request this to be paid for me.
But who's going to pay for it?
Myself.
Well, they sent me the bill, so I don't know what you want to do. The council can probably...
Then you know what? You will be able to pass the bill on to me because I'm the one who's paying this.
What?
John, I didn't request that the town pay it. I did not ask you. I did not submit any kind of a bill.
Okay, I was out of the loop. I had no idea what's going on. This is what I'm saying I need if you want the town to pay for it, this is what I need. I'm not trying to fix blame on anybody. I'm trying to get this paid and get it paid according to the SBOA guidelines. That's all I'm requesting.
Okay. I will. Okay, mate. Go ahead.
Let me finish.
Yes, ma'am.
$319 for the workshop. It's called a new elected officials. Total amount of the vouchers, $13,751.24. Now, everyone has received the sign-in sheet. Take a picture of it, sign it, and email it to me. So we don't have to do round robin on this.
Okay.
That's after we approve it.
After you approve it. If you don't approve it, then...
So, well, I make a motion that we accept these June vouchers.
Thanks, Rich.
Second that motion.
Mike Lancioni seconded.
Who did?
Mike Lancioni.
Mike Lancioni seconded.
Mm-hmm.
All right, all in favor? I need a vote. Rich Young?
Aye.
Mike Lancioni?
Aye.
Michael Martinez?
Aye.
And Dinah Drumbris? Aye. Okay, the vouchers have been accepted. Okay. Joan, is this it? We don't have any more vouchers from you, correct?
That's it for this month.
Okay, and then I will say then thank you to the town for that. It was an extremely valuable workshop that I attended. I'm going to go back to...
The council is approving it by approving it with the voucher.
Okay. But I would like to ask, with regards to the other reports that we're doing up here in this section 5, I know that we have not met with regard to the job descriptions, but this code enforcement officer was added as a D section. So can we go ahead with this code enforcement officer? Can we go and post this up online? Michael, can you tell us something?
Yeah, the latest version that you have that I sent out to everybody that is included everyone's feedback, updated some language from city to town. So that is the latest and greatest document that I sent out, I want to say about a week and a half ago. So unless anyone had any final comments or feedbacks, it's ready to go. And it's been ready to go for about a week and a half.
Okay.
And I appreciate everyone's feedback and time for reviewing it. So there were some great catches, but I'm good to go, unless anyone else had any comments.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. Rich, did you want to say something on that?
Well, I don't get the emails because I don't do this stuff, so I don't know what the document looks like.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So then, I didn't even think about printing one off for you. To get one, we got to get you online, Rich. Okay. Well, we'll drop one off for you so you can see what it looked like. But I mean, I believe everybody else thought that it was pretty good. I know Joan has one in the office too. She would have had a copy as well. Any other comments from the others? And then I don't know whether we need to then take vote or Mr. Gunning, what can you tell us about this? Jeffrey?
I think if there's an agreement, you can go ahead and post what you have.
Okay. All right. So I do know that we have among us, Rich has not seen it, but I know Michael Ascioni and Michael Martinez and I myself.
That is right underneath you.
I'm sorry? Who was that?
Random.
Oh, random? Okay, fine. So let's get this ad up. I can put it up onto the website tonight or tomorrow morning. And are we going to put this up on Nextdoor, or are we going to also publish this in some newspaper? What is the thought?
Definitely social media. So Nextdoor would be a great, free, cheap choice. Do we know what the cost would be to publish in a newspaper?
I have no idea. Joan might be able to say something.
What?
The cost of publishing this job description in the newspaper.
Let me put it in the feature.
Depends how long lengthy you're going to make, because a lot of those job duties do not have to be listed on a advertisement. A lot of that covered at the interview.
Yeah, that's true.
And you could just narrow it down where it wouldn't be so large, or put it in there to contact you to give them the information if they wanted the full job description.
That's a good point.
Michael?
Thank you.
That's one.
All right, well, that makes sense then, to be able to do that too. So we could put it up on Nextdoor, we could put it up on our website, and we can put a small ad into the local newspaper, the News Dispatch. Or did I say something about the Beecher?
Yeah, put it in the feature.
As a News Dispatch.
I think so.
Okay. Was that you, Michael? Mike Lancioni, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mike Lancioni, you said that? Rich, did you want to say something?
Like Joan said, we don't have to put it all in. Just, make a reference to Mike or whoever.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. All right, so let's go ahead. I can get that up on the next, well, you can handle Nextdoor, right, Michael?
Yeah, I can handle it.
You handle Nextdoor, and
I can post it through my own site. But I guess my question is, Rich, did you want to look at it, or to be honest with you, it was very.
Well, I am a council member. It'd be nice to have this stuff.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if John had it, then I can pick it up at the office. But I didn't even know. Well, I knew you were doing it because I remember you mentioned it before.
All right. Well, let me do this. When I'll see if I can drop it off tomorrow. Now that I know where you live, and I'll just put it underneath your doormat, or I'll just ring the doorbell tomorrow, and I'll give you.
Put it in the mailbox. Nobody's gonna arrest you.
That's illegal. You can't do that.
he's got a
Well, don't watch.
box there.
Gotta watch you, Rich.
I know, all the time.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Michael. Then, if you're going to get that over to Rich, that would be great. And then just check back with Rich. You have an approval. I mean, I will call. I don't know whether we need to have an actual formal vote on this, but I can call for one. So I suggest that we, pending Rich Young's, opinions on it, I think we not wait. We need to put this out there as fast as we can. So after Michael with Rich and gets his opinions on it, that we get it going right away. Do I have anyone to second my thoughts here?
Want it in the newspaper, send it to me.
Okay. Thank you, Joan. Michael, will you be able to do that once you cut it down real short?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that. I'll talk, Joan. I'll talk with you. I know your schedule at the office because I do like some of the feedback you gave me. Hey, keep it as short as possible. Contact these people, but I'll stop by the office this week and see what's the most cheapest yet a most effective way to get people to contact us. Okay.
Okay, just a contact for the news dispatch.
Right.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Joan. Then regarding the ad for code enforcement officer. And if that is okay with this, I'd like to move this on to the departmental reports. Police Chief Bob Sulkowski.
For the month of May, dispatched 159 calls, had 0 walk-ins. We drove 3,035 miles, 819 and a half hours worked with no overtime. Part-time officers worked 18 and a half hours, reserves filled in 75 and a half. There was only 1 traffic stop, 1 verbal warning in Michiana Shores. 2 suspicious subjects were checked, 1 suspicious vehicle, 1 ordinance violation was checked. And on the report side, we responded to a residence on Pontchartrain several occasions, and we wound up only taking 1 domestic report from that house. Other than that, everything's been quiet.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do you happen to have any report from Fire Chief Bendix? I spoke with him by phone yesterday, but I'm not sure whether you got any information from him.
No, he comes back tomorrow.
Yes.
And I'm not at the firehouse to grab the report. So.
Okay. The only thing he told me is that he was under the impression that there were only about 12 calls for the month of May. They were in Michiana Shores, Michiana, Michigan, and Dunlin Beach, and he believed 80% were medical.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that is it from the fire chief, so that would cover point B.
Dinah?
Yes.
Going back to the police report, Bob, there's starting to get a bunch of signs in the town again. I know of 3. Plus that French painting is probably around painting, and he puts signs up all the time.
Okay.
But there was a sign on that new house, kitty corner from Mike Martinez. There's a sign on, I can't think of the street. What's the street? Just west of Plisky there, the North and South Street.
Oakland.
Okay, there's a sign right there. There's a sign on, is it Oakdale turns into Shadow? As you go over the hill towards the lake there, not the last hill, but that hill. So anyway, there's quite a few signs up.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Rich, for that comment. Okay, and thanks, Chief, for taking care of that. Okay, Building Commissioner Steve Thomas.
Since the last meeting, we've had 3 permits issued. One was for a fence.
What do you say?
One was for a screen porch remodel, and one was for a re-roof. And I'm anticipating that tomorrow we will have copies complete, and I can get that permit issued for him.
Okay.
Just, I think we're done, or maybe we have one more board member that has to sign from the Plan Commission.
Just Howard has to get the paperwork, so he'll have it tomorrow morning.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Steve, where was the roof put on?
That was
Because there was a house that put a new roof on Pokagon.
That's the one.
This
No,
was
that was
209.
Dream.
This was Dreamwall.
That was Dreamwald at Rob Horning's place.
Yep.
Well, I'm talking about one on Pokagon. It went up very quickly.
Edelstein.
Seems like there are a lot of people that are doing a lot of work around here without permits.
We need to assess them, even though they did it without a permit, and charge them fee, not just a fee, but a penalty.
Well, there is a part of the ordinance. I remember we did that. I kept pushing that several years ago, but we have never, ever enforced it.
Hey, Rich, where was that again?
It was like 210 Pokagon. It was the roof they were doing. I sent you photos.
Yeah. In fact, that guy, I spoke with him, and that was roughly a week and a half ago, and he dropped a permit app and a check into the mail slot. He literally took a cell phone picture of him throwing it into the slot. It was a roofing company out of Illinois.
Okay. Joan, do you know anything about that being left there at the office?
I don't, but I don't keep a mental note of every check that goes through here.
Okay, just curious on that. Thank you. Okay.
So, yeah, Rich, to answer your question, that one,
He should have
they at least applied for the permit.
Okay.
After they did the roof, right?
No, they were probably a third of the way through it, and Dinah contacted me about it. So I stopped in like an hour later.
What about the one on 312 Pokagon with the building in the backyard? Supposed to be a tree house or extra living, not living, but sleeping quarters or whatever. What happened with
the little playhouse built around a tree?
Don't they have to get a permit for that?
Well, that's a bigger issue because, and I talked to Dinah about this, that tree house is basically about 2 feet off the property line on the rear and the side.
That's right.
So they technically need to apply to basically they have to go to the Plan Commission, which they will get denied, and then they would have to go to the BZA and speak with them about getting a permission.
How long are we going to wait for them to do it?
Well, we probably need to talk to the attorney and find out what we can do, because other than the attorney sending them a letter, I'm not sure what the other process is to go about doing this.
Okay, and there's a guy across the street that's putting up an outside building, evidently for storage or something else, and he wanted to put it right back where it was before, which was not far enough away.
Right, and I talked to him about that, and I told him he couldn't do that.
You better follow up on it. Word of caution.
Okay, thank you for those comments. And then I know that, there's more things for me to report on communications, so I'll talk about it in communications.
I have one last thing for Steve. Or maybe you, Dinah, because I think you spoke to them too. What happened with that fence over on Groveland?
Oh, yeah, Groveland.
That fence is down, I think. Is that what you said? No, Matt, someone told me that fence is down now, the one that was on Groveland.
Yeah, I was wondering. I thought I glanced and saw it was gone now. So.
But the other one, she put one in the back too, not back, but on the corner, like just north of the garage, like it might be parked where she has her not in-ground, her above-ground pool.
Well, I don't know. Something I did not see. I haven't been back to look at her place.
Well, there were two, the one in the front and then and it's not a big thing, but still, she didn't get a permit. I don't think that she.
No, I don't know. Maybe Steve can stop by there as he drives by next time. Steve?
Yep, definitely.
Okay, awesome pig and fence. All right. Okay, there were a couple maybe I'll just bring these up right now then. I had it in commissions. I've gotten quite a few calls and texts with regards to construction projects going on Birchwood. And I know that we went to one. I had stopped there as well because I was driving by. And then, Steve, you went over there where the guy was claimed it was painting, but they had been actually rebuilding and doing things on the inside and rebuilding steps.
Was this that porch remodel?
Yeah, the porch. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, they got a permit.
Okay.
They're basically just doing a bunch of putting down pavers and whatnot in their backyard.
Yeah. Okay. And then, you know, like I said, when you get a chance, check with those other things. I'll send you those photos of the other ones that the neighbor sent. And then maybe when you drive by, you could stop in and see what they're actually doing with those. So
that would be helpful.
Yards. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's go on to Park Board. Dolly Millick.
Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Well, there's quite a few things that we got done. Rich really worked his butt off. Excuse me, I shouldn't have said that. But he worked very hard. He was very tired, power washing everything in the park, from the gazebo to all the benches, picnic tables, everything. He worked half the day power washing. So, and he had to drag the hose all the way from my house to do it, and he worked really hard. So he needs a hand there.
I didn't do the fences. Don't give me credit for that because they're not done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rich.
No, the fences. No, he didn't do that. But he worked very hard, and his wife was just as patient as can be watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. She was very
moral support.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Let's see. Sam Paxton power washed the map, the legs of the marquee. So
okay.
Joby is going to repaint the sign, and the paint has been purchased and delivered to her. So we hope the work is completed before the next meeting, but I don't know. It's an awful lot of work. And our meeting is going to be June 22nd in the park. We're trying to have it there. Let's see, the large pot on the column has been replanted, and Skip Mosso has mulched the base of the column and purchased and bought a new solar light. Skip also has donated and installed a new sign at Kincaid Park by the tennis court benches. And the fence is falling apart clear around. We walked around the fence and it's in bad shape, and that needs to be fixed. And let's see, what else? Olivia Joby is to repaint the signs. I think I told you that. And the pickleball tennis court is in use very often. There's someone there every day.
Okay.
And Steve will donate the new toy digger that someone broke in the park. And he said to get the price on one, and he would be glad to donate it.
Who is that?
Steve Wine.
Oh, okay.
He donated the swing in the park, the two-seater.
Okay. Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
And Rich had redid it, and he praised Rich for doing such a good job. And he said he wants to, he donates a lot to it.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you.
And then I still have the bike in my garage, and we got to do something about that. I don't want to think some storing a bike for nothing. I don't know what to do. Put it back in the park, but I think it could have been stolen for Long Beach and brought there, something, because nobody's asked for a bike.
No.
And we've had it online, right?
Yeah, I did put it up, last fall. We'll have to put it up again. Okay.
Yeah, and I understand I have a new board member that I wasn't aware of, but I found out at the election that
Sonia Lansky. Yes, she was appointed to the board.
That would have been nice. And that's about all we have to report.
When you and I spoke.
Pardon me?
I believe I mentioned that to you when you and I spoke on the phone.
I didn't have any record of it until she told me.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dolly. Okay.
Welcome.
Is Joan there?
Yeah.
Joan, do you have any of the books? Because we have to order that, that digger. And
yeah, I
think Dolly looked for some books, but she didn't find them.
I think they were all outdated, and then I threw them out.
Yeah.
Anything else for the town? No, they're outdated. I'm teasing. Yeah.
Well, that would be something for the park board and the booster club to worry about, not for us. So then we'll work on those then. Okay, let's move on. Thank you again, Dolly. Let's move on to the roads. Bob Slukowski. Road Commissioner. Road Commissioner, Bob.
He must have left.
No, he's there.
It's just has to unmute himself.
Yeah. We can't hear you, Bob. You need to unmute because we can't hear you. Bob Slukowski?
There we go. Now I got it.
Okay, good. All right.
Total of 15 hours for the month of May. We patched potholes. One tree was down, and we started mowing.
Where'd you mow?
All right. And now I think that there would, roads. I do have a question for you, I believe, but I think I may have put it in one of the other sections in the back with regards to, we can actually talk about it now, I think. And one of them is how it's going with the road signs that need to be replaced, and then with the road patching plan. Or not patching, but road, the paving plan for this year.
I'm gathering the list of roads that we want to do. One of them was not on the schedule for 2020, but it's on the schedule for 2022. So which is Hiawatha from El Portal to Pokagon. I'm getting that ready to send to Joan to have advertisements for the bid process.
Okay.
The grant application process starts July 1st.
Okay. Now, I remember at one of the meetings you said that you had a problem with the computer and either had lost all information or had to try to retrieve it from somewhere. I don't know if you have it backed up or not.
Right. The girl in LaPorte is gathering the information from the state.
Okay.
So she will email me and I'll get it to Joan.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Anybody else have questions for the road commissioner?
Well, I'm looking, this is Rich Young, I'm looking under unfinished business where you just covered, Bob, the road patching.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do Grand Beach Road or did Michigan City? I don't remember if it's done. It says over tracks, plan and timeline. I'm looking at 9E.
The city must have done that. We just did the roads in Michiana Shores.
Okay, because I requested when the railroad was supposed to be doing the work, I asked them about repairing the road at our crossing, and they asked if it was specifically right the crossing, is it the road approaching? So I said it was about 10 to 12 feet on either side of the actual railroad crossing itself. So it may have been the railroad that handled that too. I'm not sure, because Michigan City is claiming they have no money for anything. Okay, thank you very much for that. All right, let's move on to the next. We have our Advisory Plan Commission, and Howard, basically was that the coffee permit was granted at the Plan Commission meeting, And the next project that the Plan Commission is going to be working on are the rules and procedures for the Plan Commission. Plan Commission members, please feel free to add anything else you needed on that. Nothing else? Okay. All right. Yes, Joan?
As far as the park goes, Mick Wolf wanted the council to approve him mowing the ditch bank before July 4th. We don't have anything approved for that yet, and the park board hasn't met to do it. So
okay.
If they will approve him, go ahead and mow it. He didn't give me a price on it. He doesn't charge all that much, so we don't have to worry about it.
Doesn't that money, Joan, come out of either the booster or the park board?
It can come out of the park board, and we do have money in there for of the ditch. So there is money in there right now.
All right.
Molly just said they're meeting on June 22nd. That should be plenty of time.
What?
The park board will be meeting on the 22nd, I think, yeah.
On the 22nd, you want them to approve it?
Yeah.
Going down?
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Joan.
Whatever you want.
All right, so now we have, we've done the advisory plan, BZA. Matt Bowen has said that he set up a meeting for the 11th as a housekeeping meeting. They will have a new member. They have to go over what the BZA, their basic, things that they've been doing in the past and how things are run. They'll have to elect new officers. They also have a meeting set for the 25th, and that's going to be something they will discuss on having for the first hearings. I am not going to address anything else about the BZA right now. That will be something the BZA is going to do and discuss any kind of issues legally with Mr. Gunning as they go forward on that. And the meetings are advertised, obviously, on the board and on the website as well. There's nothing to report for H, which is the White Ditch. There was no meeting this month. They had nothing drastic that needed to be discussed. With regards to website, I can just say that, I try to update everything as quickly as it goes. The company itself is growing, and they said they'll offer us more different things that we can do on our website, including setting up, making appointments if people want to, for playing pickleball or tennis or whatever it is. We can set something up interactively for that. Pardon? And then I'm going right down to J, which is the NERC. NERC had a long meeting in May, almost twice as long as it usually is. And with regards to all kinds of business that took place, they addressed issues that dealt with road repairs up in our area of Northwest Indiana, with regards to environmental cleanup of various different places, not so much in LaPorte, but more in Porter and Lake counties. They also discussed the lake shore. That really hit LaPorte and Porter County and Lake County as well, with regards to the letters and the, contacting the government with regards to, and the governor, to helping us preserve the lake shore. So they had a big drive going with regards to that. So that's the NERC reports. And as well, I've got added here, K, LaPorte County COVID-19 meetings. I try to tag every Thursday. They've got a meeting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon where you hear the latest news about what's going on in LaPorte County with regards to COVID, new things that are taking place, safety, how many people are ill and so forth. So I try to listen in on that all the time. Okay. Now on to number 7, ordinances and resolutions. And I don't think we had any unless somebody wants to correct me on that. No? Good? All right. Let's go on to the grants. 8A is White Ditch Bank restoration work. Joan, can you give us a little report on that?
Everyone has a copy. I sent them a copy, an update on it.
Yes.
So if you want to read it, go ahead and read it.
Okay, thank you very much. So is there a reason why they didn't start? Because they were in such a hurry to know earlier.
They did start.
They did start already? Okay. Because it didn't look like it when I walked there, so that's why.
Now
Okay.
they have, the heavy equipment in yet, but they will have it completed by the 30th.
Excellent.
Today's only the 11th, but they had to do some preliminary work before they could actually start digging
Okay.
and moving dirt around.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. And Bob, is there anything else for you to add about community crossings, or you already answered that? That starts in July? I'm assuming, okay, that's probably it. All right. Let's move on. Unfinished business. Leaf pickup for the town. Bill DeFuniak sent me a copy of the RFP that they used for Long Beach. This is from some years ago, but it will be very good for us with regards to when we get ready to put that out. And I think I would have work on it to change it over for us to use so that we could all get it in July and we could send it out. I also have the names of 4 different outfits, 3 of whom are interested in it. But the one question that one of them gave me was, they asked if we had any locations within the town to dump the leaves. And I know we don't like to dump leaves, but does the town own any property where leaves could be left safely and dumped by those who are going to be picking up the leaves? So that's a question. Joan, you'd probably be the best to answer that one. They said that would help with the price, keeping prices down for the leaf pick.
Dinah?
Yes.
Most of the property the town owns is on the ditch.
Okay.
And, white ditch. And DNR probably will not let us do that because of the seepage going into the drain.
Yes.
And the other ones are spotted throughout the town, and I don't think any one of our residents wants to have leaves dumped.
Well, I didn't think so either, but I just thought I would check just in case we have something in a corner that nobody knows about that could be used for that. And I did know about the leaching out, as well, that the DNR may not like us to do anything like that. But I figured it's time to ask, when I'm making the report. All right, so we have, so that's on the leaf pickup. So I will have an RFP that you can look at. I'll send that out earlier to everybody so that you can approve or not approve it, and we can have Joan take care of sending those out then. Then
Dinah?
Yes.
Doesn't, maybe Bob knows, LaPorte, you can take garbage to dump near the county grounds.
Oh, yes, I understand that. But if we do a town-wide leaf pickup, these guys are going to have to take it somewhere, so they're going to arrange where they go.
Well, I don't think they charge for that. Does anyone know?
Yeah, Rich, half the time that's closed, Rich, because it just gets overwhelmed. So just FYI.
Okay, that's interesting to know. And it'll be something that we'll include in the RFP to find out what they say and what they would do with it and how they'd handle it. So
I know one thing you could do is contact the Town of Trail Creek Street Department.
Okay.
Because they have a location that they take the town's leaves.
Okay. All right, thank you. Now, and you know what? I am going to ask this question. Just like we get our water from Michigan City, I was wondering if perhaps anybody knows that maybe we should even try to see if Michigan City, since we are on the edge of Michigan City, maybe we could talk to them about leaf removal.
That's worth asking. I mean, they're always looking for revenue now, right?
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. All right, so that'll be a couple more phone calls for me to make. Okay, so we'll see what we can find out on that. Let's move on to wood debris removal from public property. Do we have anything else going on that currently? Oh, no, I'm sorry, short-term rentals. I missed a biggie there. I'm sorry. Go ahead, B. Mike Lancioni, do you have any kind of news or information or anything?
I don't think I have any news. It's in the BZA's hands at this point, whoever is going to start the permit process. Germane to the topic, I don't know, Dinah, if you want to go ahead and add in like 13C down there. I mean, I think you've been involved in some communication that maybe there are some folks who have been renting. I'm not.
Yes. So we can either talk about it, I can put that now, I don't care, I can even pull that in right now. I have gotten a lot of texts and a lot of calls from people with regards to the fact that I thought you were going to have permits, and I have all these homes going up and there are no permits in their windows. So when I do get this, I tell them that the process is in place. We have a way that you're supposed to do this. It will be the BZA. It will be applying for a permit, and we are going to be requiring this. But that it takes time as we're implementing all of this. So I try to calm them down. But there are some, where like I thought it's all going to be done right now. A lot of communications, literally, with regards to that. They call me and they text me about this. And then, as a matter of fact, when Mike Lancioni and I were speaking, Mike then put together this letter, which I think he shared with everyone on the council. Rich, I think I made a copy for you, so you did see that one. And it's about making a comment to those who are renting without any kind of efforts on their part to reach out to the town to get permits. Mike, you want to talk about that a minute?
Yeah, I mean, it's just for like when we get the code enforcement officer. I mean, it's just a code enforcement violation letter that we could be used for any ordinance. It doesn't have to be specifically used for short-term rentals, but of course it can be. So it's set up as a template that then you would fill in the specifics, whether it was a fence, a sign, or a rental, and then you would know what the fine is. So, I mean, Dinah, for our conversation, I mean, everybody is aware of the rental ordinance. All those people have been notified. So, I mean, we should go ahead and post the notice of violation and send it to their address of record.
Okay. So, meaning we should send one of these letters out to those homeowners then?
Correct.
Correct. Now, any other thoughts from anybody else here?
No, I think that's a good idea. I honestly believe that once we get the code enforcement officer up and running, that should take care of most of it. But again, it's just more of trying to mean business, is because the biggest thing we have is that we have something in place, but who's going to be enforcing it in the meantime?
Yes.
So I think those letters will kind of make a stand for us to say that, this is an ordinance.
Right, and that we're doing something. Okay.
Just a suggestion on that.
Go around with the letter and have everybody sign it. So it's all the council members have signed off on it. So I'll do that this, over the weekend or early next week.
Okay. All right. Any comments from anybody else on that then at this point?
A suggestion on the mailing.
Yes.
And it's certified to their Illinois address also.
I'm sorry, repeat that again, Bob. We didn't hear.
Send it certified to their Illinois address.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to be to their main addresses. Okay. Sent to main address. All right. And certified. Good point. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. So then we could move on to unfinished business C, wood and debris removal for public property. Do we have anything to worry about on that? Rich, Bob?
There's always trees we can, branches and stuff. So I guess we could take a closer look.
Okay. So are you going to handle that, Rich, to see what needs to be done?
Yeah. How much money do we have to spend, Joe?
For what?
Tree and debris removal along the roads.
I wish you guys would read your budget. Just hang on and I'll tell you. Tree trimming, you have 15,000. Let me see if there's anything else in here. I wish you'd ask for this stuff before the meeting. It would save a lot of time. Let's go to here. It looks like that might be all of it.
Okay.
Just that. And it's really tree removal and also debris removal.
Right.
So that 15,000, you didn't even use that last year.
Okay. All right. So we have something to work on. Thank you.
While we're on trees, while we're on trees, there's one next to the town garage that's dead. It needs to come down. A large branch came down a week or so ago, and the inside of it's all hollowed out. And I'm afraid the whole tree is bad.
Push it up.
It's a very large tree. Somebody's gonna have to come in and cut it out.
Okay. All right. So who's going to work?
Comments on the money?
I'll take care of that one.
Okay. Can I explain the money situation we're talking about? I said we had 15,000 for trees. We also may not use all of our monies for road paving. So we might be able to transfer some of that into doing more work on the road.
Okay. All right. Well, that might be good. Okay. Thank you, Joan. Fixing the bad road signs. How's that going to come in along, Chief?
It's slow. The signs or the posts have been ordered. I'm waiting for them to be delivered.
Okay. Posts coming. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Working on it. Okay. So, and then the road patching, you talked about road patching and that you're putting a plan together. So we've got E covered. Thank you. And then we've got F covered, getting the code enforcer. We're not quite under contract, but it's going to be posted. So at least that's moving along. I'm sorry?
You doing it as a contractor or an employee?
Oh, I don't know. We were going to do it. I don't know whether we made any decision at all or not. I mean, I just put it under contract. Don't take that as a given.
Okay.
Contract. Just a word I used. So, what
Get
is
one hired.
We said it's going to be hourly. Are we going to do it as an independent contractor or an employee? What is the better suggestion?
Put as an employee and pay him by the hour.
Employee by the hour.
May have, more than, what we would expect. But after that, when people find out they have to apply and, go by the codes, I think we won't have as many.
Probably, unless later. Okay. That's right. We did discuss that, I think, before on that. Thank you, Joan, for reminding us.
Okay.
G, which is Stop 37 discussions with Michiana. I know Mike had talked to Iverson before with regards to this, and there was you had said that it was iffy. When I called into Michiana yesterday, and I found out from the woman in the office, she said someone named Ann is going to give me a call back. I didn't hear from her today. I called back in and she said she'll call me tomorrow. But they said as far as they know, supposedly the guy named, I think he's Rick, and he does their roads and things like that. I'm not quite sure what his title is in the town, but that he said that they would not be building any stairs this year at all is the plan right now. It was the existing beaches, which is 41 and a half and 42. So that was about it for those for the beach kind of discussions that I got, unless I hear anything different tomorrow, and then I will share that with you if that Ann does call me back about that.
The only thing with it, Dinah, if we talk to Ann, those stairs are the old 86 stairs are exposed, and it would just take a simple effort to just dig. The only sand that's left is the sand that's on the first platform.
Mm-hmm.
It just needs to be dug out and then have a new railing added on. But the stairs themselves are sound. I mean, basically right now it's the Dune Oaks Club. Because they put their stairs in, and of course they won't let anybody use them. And
right.
Now they have their own little private area, as janky as it is. But it sure would be nice to open that up and at least get access to those old stairs. I don't think it would be that big of an effort.
Well, it would be good then if one of you actually got in touch with that Rick then at Michiana. I'll find out what Ann says and talk to her. But if someone can talk about how physically to get it done, then that would have to be something else, not me. Okay.
You make the connection. You can then get the assist and shoot it to me, and I'm happy to do that.
Okay. All right. I will do that then. Okay. So because
hey,
nice.
Dinah, I wanted to ask a quick question. Yeah, I just wanted to ask a quick question because my wife and I were on a walk yesterday. And we noticed quite a bit of people around that 37.5 onward eastward. So how are they accessing that beach? I highly doubt that. I probably saw maybe 20, 25 people. I highly doubt all those people were.
Get in touch with me, Michael. I'll give you the secret.
Okay.
The wrong state.
No, we were looking at them too down there the other day. So,
well, most of the people are the folks that live in that English Tudor home. They put some makeshift stairs in. That's their property. The property, so that from the middle of that English Tudor home to the west, like 3 lots is private. But then the 2 lots on the side of that big house are public. That's Chickmee, permanent easement, Village of Michiana. And then from to the east of the center of that Tudor house all the way to all the rest of that beach is all public.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. So that's we'll come to you when we need to find out how to get down. So
yeah, I don't want too many people down there.
Okay, thank you on that. Okay, so let's down now. Oh, new business. Basically, we discussed the Boy Scout map already, which was presented by Dolly, and Jean Paxton had found and talked to Olivia to work on this, and she seemed excited about it. That's really nice. I drove around with them on Saturday, taking a look at these. You know, we were all riding around to see what it would look like and things that we can do. So I think that Olivia will do a very nice job with regards to painting that sign. And I think that what we're going to need to do is just try to talk to the town, to the fire department, and then although I don't know whose that land is, where the garage is. Is that the town's or is that the fire department?
That's the town.
The towns. Well, then that means it's our land, and those two signs. So we've got the sign and the marquee. So we were actually looking to see if we couldn't pull up that marquee. It'd be a bit of a chore, but to move it a little bit farther back from where it's at so that it doesn't block what will be our newly painted map sign of Michiana Shores. So that would be something to work on as well, maybe this summer, that we can get that done, because the marquee is ugly in front of the sign once the sign is pretty. So anyway, that's just a thought to think about. And then we have, under new business, I have B, which is the derelict home at 3845 Michiana Drive. I know that I don't know who owned that home before, but I mean, I was looking at the names of who had it, and I thought it was already some few years ago that whoever bought it said they were going to tear it down. I found out from Rich yesterday that Colin, I think is it Marshall, owns the property. I looked it up on Beacon, and certainly he is the one. I actually reached out to him via Nextdoor, and I asked him, and I told him what it looks like, and that this has to go down because this is going to be considered, a hazard here in Michiana to health and wellness of our community. So he said that he is planning on tearing it down. He's owned the place since, I don't know where I put my note here. He's on the plane since 2019, I think March. He himself has owned it. And he said that he was going to go over there and fix up the siding that was falling off, because it's literally falling out. It looks like a pillow that's gotten unstuffed already with the foam batting that's coming out. And he said he'll fix it up so it doesn't look unsightly, and it is going to be scheduled for demolition this year. That's what he told me. So I don't know how we're going to follow up on this, but it's something to keep an eye on. with this. Maybe that'll be our code enforcer as well, to keep our neighborhood safe. Mr. Gunning, do you have anything you'd like to report to us?
I think I will just mention that with regard to the existing ordinance violation case, we were expecting a demand or a proposal for settlement prior to last meeting. And since that time, having received nothing, I issued a strong inquiry letter and have heard nothing in advance of tonight's meeting. That may in part be impacted by virtue of the fact that I did issue the second set of interrogatories in the case. The second set of interrogatories primarily address the additional allegations that they had filed within the case. So we're not revisiting old topics. I also sent a written confidential report to the council members and the clerk treasurer, so you can look at that and be reminded that the next response date that we have court filing due is actually on Monday. The response to the second set of interrogatories is actually over the weekend, so that may or may not affect what approach we use on Monday as to whether or not we go for additional time or just seek an indefinite continuance or just deem that we'll file our response. Are everyone able to hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. The only other thing I'd offer is with regard to the dilapidated structure. If I'm correct, this is one that we've been hearing promises of demolition and removal for a long time.
Yes.
The unsafe building ordinance for the town designates the town council as the hearing authority. Since you have a contact person, which we haven't always had in the past, I would suggest, and it's up to the council, that you actually initiate the proceedings for the unsafe building ordinance. That would allow you to serve notice, force the owner or responsible party to come to a council meeting or appear virtually if we're still in operating in that world, and actually set some deadlines or get some commitments that they would have to be bound to follow. And so you can take a look at that ordinance. You'll have to consult also the statutes, but it might be a wise thing in one of the future meetings here in the short-term future to actually initiate the proceedings, because they're kind of long and it requires formal notification just to bring them in and get their commitments on the record.
Okay, that sounds like
I have to report.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's a great suggestion. Thanks a lot on that. Okay. Anybody have questions? You're all good. Okay.
Well, is Attorney Gunning suggesting that we make a motion to do that now?
Yes, that we do this soon.
You can either do it now or do it at your next meeting, and if the council president's already made contact with the person, she might want to let them know that a formal notification will be forthcoming, and that in addition gives him extra time, but it kind of puts him on notice, and then receiving the notice that the commission is being activated on that case should get better results than we've had in the past, which has merely been relying on the representations that owners have made.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds fine. I'm more than willing to let him know that I'm putting him on notice then about, with regards to, and then we can put something together in some kind of a letter form for that. So from the ordinance, or I mean, from whatever we have, our ordinance resolution, whatever. Okay. Thank you. Let's go to very much on that one. I'm going to jump down to communications. Joan, did you have any kind of communications that came into the town?
I don't have any communications. Any one of them I've had, I sent to you. The main one was on there was a tree down and it was reported.
Yes.
And that was taken care of. But I do have a comment on your appointment of Mr. Box to
Yes.
the BZA. According to my records, that appointment is to the BZA by the plan. That's what I have listed on my record.
Well, we were looking at Ray's documents that he had here, and it showed that Ray was appointed by the town executive.
That's been afterwards, which probably was a misnomer at the time, but technically he was originally appointed by the BZA to the Plan Commission. So we need to
wait, not from the BZA to the plan, from plan to BZA.
Would have been the other way, yeah.
The other way.
BZA by the Plan Commission.
Uh-huh.
So I think we need to rectify that to make sure that we are in sync with what it should be, especially with these short-term rental hearings coming up.
Okay. Now, Joan, the document Ray was looking at is something that you had put together that showed, and it literally lists town executive. So I will share with you the document he had, and then maybe we can work it out, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. And then make sure that the appointment then goes from the plan if that's what's going to need to go.
Well, you might want to do it because you have a BZA meeting coming up.
Yeah, I can get that copy to you tomorrow, okay? So you would see the one that Ray has. Okay?
Actually, Dinah.
Yes, Rich.
Since I was ahead of the plan forever, it seemed.
Yeah.
It is in our bylaws or state bylaws that you have to have 2 members of the plan picked to be on the BZA.
Yes.
And Ray was one of them.
Yes, I understand that, but what it is, the Plan Commission appoints 1, and then the town executive appoints 3, and the town council appoints 1. That's according to BZA rules. I was going over the plan to make sure.
No, I think the plan picks the 2.
No,
because I was one of those for a long time.
Okay,
I got the code. It's 3 citizens members appointed by the town council executive, of whom 1 must be a member of the advisory plan commission. 1 citizen member appointed by the town council who is not a member of the advisory plan commission. 1 citizen member appointed by the advisory plan commission who must be a citizen member on the advisory plan commission, and not the same member from the advisory plan commission appointed by the council.
Okay, so anyway, I'll share with Joan then on what it was, because the document Ray gave me, okay, because we were looking at those today, specifically because of that appointment. So, and I'll very happy to bring that over, and then we can compare and see who was appointed by whom and make sure we have the right terminology used for our appointment here. Okay, Joan?
Okay.
All right, thank you very much on that. Now I got, under communications, as I said, I got a lot of calls and texts about the building and construction and renovation that takes place without permitting being done. They're saying, how come I have to use a permit and they don't have to use a permit? So that seems to be an issue that's bothering a lot of people this year. I don't know what it was like in the past and how many calls anybody got, but I was like, wow, they're upset about this. And then, so we already discussed that. that a bit. And then, as I told you before, we were getting, I'm getting calls from residents about the, weekend rentals that are taking place, and they're not seeing any kind of permits. So we know that they're reading what we put up online. That's for sure, because they even know about what kind of color the sign should be. And they're telling me, but there's no signs in these houses. And I keep thanking them, and I said, okay, make note of them, let me know. So now I'm getting lots of photos too of cars parked in driveways and on the street. So you know that stuff. And then I did get comments from two people who talked about bushy growth. And Bob Solkowski, that's for you, I guess. It says bushy growth that impedes clear vision at some of the intersections where, and so making it hard to make a turn. So I don't know how you want to handle that. Should we just walking by mention to the homeowner, or put some kind of news thing out that, trim your things, or the road commissioner will be out there with his mowing machines?
We've already started mowing. So.
Yeah, I saw you did it on Old Grand Beach Road. So anyway, but a lot of this is like bushes, a lot of, that have grown larger now or something. So that they were complaining about it. And I know one of the complaint was right over here on, I think, Brookside and El Portal being very bushy or something. And then they talked about Pokagon and Oakdale, I believe. So,
yeah, Pokagon and Oakdale has an evergreen that's out into the street.
Yeah, big trees. So anyway, so those are things to think about. Then I wanted to let you know I got a call yesterday from Duneland Beach Homeowners Association President Marianne Fumo, who says that Duneland Beach homeowners are extremely upset about all the Michiana Shores residents who are going to the beach at Stop 37. And even more upset about the fact that the people who are coming down there have been told to come down by the people they rent homes from. So in other words, those people who are renting out their properties are telling them, oh, you can use Stop 36. So, I'll put that out on the website. You can put it on next door, but I wanted to let you know what came through.
All right, well, correct me if I'm wrong, Dinah, that with Duneland Beach, you cannot access their actual beach, entrances, but it is a state law that was approved that if you access a beach at a different stop, they can walk up and down any beach that they want. I get the fact that the renters, the issue is that the renters are really saying that, but it's a public beach. And they need to understand that.
I understand that and heard the issue. The thing was that they are using their stairs at 36. That was the big issue. I'm sorry, I probably phrased it the wrong way, that they are using the Duneland Beach homeowners stairs to go down to the beach.
Well, you can't, I do. Everybody does when they don't have their sentries out there. They post the sentries from, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, to 4 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
But otherwise.
And I believe they have security on the weekends that they need to show a card from Duneland to get down there anyway. So I don't understand how they're acting.
I don't know. Chief might tell us more about that one. I don't know.
I didn't hear the question.
Oh, but people, Duneland Beach, I guess, checking people's IDs when people go down the stairs to go to the beach.
Yes. They hire security guards to sit on top. What Michael Martinez said is correct. They control the stairs, but once you're at the high water mark, which is 99.5% of the time, is the vegetation line.
Yeah.
And from that vegetation line to the water's edge is state-owned property.
Yeah.
But they do control
the stairs.
Their steps, yes. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been down there, but can you walk around that house at the state line?
37?
No.
I don't know. You can't.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Those boulders are taking up everything.
You could walk on the boulders maybe, but that would be stupid.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Well, you can't even get down there right now at 37 unless you're at due nose. But then that's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, anyway, I needed to share that with you that, that she sent this thing, and I said, well, I'm more than happy to say that there shouldn't be using your stairs, but, that's about it, with regards to that. But
ask her if they want to lease us access. for those 36 stairs.
What was that, Mike?
Have them lease us access at stop 36.
There we go. They could lease us access at 35 too. That's not so far.
Yeah.
So it is something we can talk to them about and see if, just to let us go down and say, well, head east, once you walk down the stairs. Yeah. Maybe or maybe we won't. I don't know what we'll do. So, okay, but that is a good thought to approach them to see what we can do about that. Any public comments?
All the public is muted out. If anybody has a comment, they can put it in chat, and I think I can unmute them then.
Well, we're really not doing, is there anyone who wanted to say anything?
Yeah, Dinah, it's Steve, I did.
Yeah, hi, Steve.
Back to issues where we have homeowners that are building 6-foot fences in their front yard or tree houses that are too close to the property line. Is there a way that we can develop or have the attorney develop a form letter that I can send to the residents?
That's what I was just talking about, Steve.
I think it would greatly speed up the process of getting them to remove the fences or whatever the case may be.
Steve, that's what I was just talking about earlier. That's that letter. You can just type in whatever you want in the middle and send it or post it to the property.
Mike, did you send a copy of that letter to Jeffrey?
No, I will.
Okay. All right. So then just please take a look at that and see, it seems pretty straightforward and innocuous. It's not horrible. So I think it might not be bad to use. Thank you for bringing that up, Steve.
Yep. Madam President, this is Jeffrey Gunning.
Yes.
Steve, you should already have a copy of a letter that's a standard 10-day letter. I think it references possible ordinance violations. And that's a uniform standard stock letter that you can use on everything. Is it
possible you could send that to me, Jeffrey?
Sure, I can do that.
That would be great.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. And thank you, Mike, for the letter that you put together. And please share that with Jeffrey so he'd see what you wrote up as well. So,
no worries.
Okay, good. All right. Then I'm going to take this down to our council comments. Joan? Jeffrey, anybody who wanted council comments? Anybody else? All right. If there are no other comments, I'm going to ask someone to move to adjourn our meeting.
Madam President, I will offer or make one inquiry, I guess, and offer some information. The town code provides that whenever the clerk treasurer has an official public records request, that she is to notify the town council of that.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that got covered, and I may have missed it, but there was a series of public records requests from an Illinois attorney based in Burr Ridge, Illinois, by the name of Tim Foley. He issued a variety of requests, all aimed at the records and the ordinances and resolutions dealing with short-term rentals. And I know that those are being responded to in a variety of fashion. But I sent a note late in the day to remind the clerk treasurer that that code obligation exists, and if it didn't get covered, I mentioned it, so the obligation is fulfilled.
Okay.
I got it here, and I pulled them all off the mails today so I would have it, and I totally forgot it. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Good that we know that. Okay. Rich, did you have a question? I see you light up or not?
No.
Okay.
I would like to, again, thank Mr. Gunning for sticking around while we search for a new attorney.
Thank you. All right. Okay, if there are no other comments, then let's call the meeting. Someone move to close.
So moved.
All right, Rich Young moves to close our meeting. Any second?
Martinez second.
Michael Martinez seconds. All in favor. Let's hear those voices.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the meeting is adjourned at 8:51 p.m. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and I will see you soon out on the street. Bye. Good night,
Good night, everyone.
Yes.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night.